Hello, I'm the Honey Badger, and welcome to another episode of me just jumping away about different video games. Today, I am talking about Riders Republic because I really think this game should be played more often than it currently is. No joke, I'm serious. Okay, here it goes, alright? There are not a lot of sports games out there, okay, on gaming. Yes, we have the racing, we have NBA every year, NHL, FIFA, whatever the heck it's called right now. We have one of those very mainstream media sports every single year. And it's fine, there's the market for it, that's why they keep showing up. That's totally fine. However, other sports like snowboarding, BMX, skateboard, all of those other string sports are not highlighted as much as I wish they are, or they could be. And you know what? There was a time back in early 2000s where almost every game I saw every year had something to do with snowboarding. I remember playing Shaun White's snowboarding games, or the XXL games as well. And those were cool. They were great. Of course, Tony Hawk games. But those have been kind of, sporadic, very rare. There are a couple here and there. Skate did release a new game this year. And there are other games called like the Shredders. They're a very realistic style of game. But I do enjoy having my arcade games from time to time. And there is not a lot of those. Which is why I want to just talk about Riders Republic. Because it is straight up arcadey played, but it can be somewhat realistic. And it makes it fun. So, why do I think it's one of the best sports games out there? Well, because it's a great variety. And the map, the circuits, the events it has, the way the game feels and plays, it's a great the combination of everything I just said makes it a great mix that is just chef's kiss. It is perfect, I tell you. If you don't like sports games, you're not gonna give a care about this game, so get out of here. Don't watch this video. I'm kidding. You can still watch this video because I'm gonna continue yapping about it. Maybe you're here just for my yaps, so okay, you can stay. But if you do enjoy sports games outside of FIFA, if you want to just have a fun, jolly ride with extreme sports games, this is it. This is the one. And also, the other reason why it's very cool is because this game has a very amazing combination of single player and multiplayer. But before I get into that, I'm just gonna talk about the bad thing, which is the elephant in the room. This game is from Ubisoft. We know Ubisoft, it is not on its greatest state. I agree, absolutely. Most of the games kinda are very mid. They don't suck, but they are not, they're not as good as they used to be. And of course, we cannot forget the microtransaction empire they are running on these games. It's very sad, very depressing seeing it happen live on 4HD. Either way, that's not the point. This is a Ubisoft game, so you're gonna see a lot of microtransactions, which is kinda of a bummer. Because yes, well, the microtransactions they're using is cosmetics. Most of them, I will talk about the most egregious one. Most of them are cosmetics. You can play this game and enjoy it, even if you don't look the most flamboyant out there or the most cool personality. You can still play and have fun. For real. And they do have like a season pass type of thing, like a battle pass thingy. You can just play and you can acquire things. And they're kinda, some of them are good, some of them are meh. But you can still have a variety without spending another dime other than the one you did buying the game. Now, the most egregious one is, and I will absolutely agree, is them selling you as DLCs or extras sports that they added later on in the game. That is absolutely disgusting on their part. It should have been just part of the game. Maybe they didn't have it on the start. Okay, maybe add it afterwards and be like, oh, this is a free update to you guys. No, they put it under a paywall, which is kind of sad because it doesn't allow for everybody to play it. Now, if there is a sale, grab them. Especially because I did like I have Riders Republic on my Xbox. I completed 100%, and then I was like, on this last Steam sale, I was like, dude, Riders Republic is on sale. It's like a 90% discount. Just get it with all of it, everything, all the sports, all the new sports, and now I have a new thing to play because it's really fun. It's a really fun game. But I will say, yeah, grab it on a sale if you're gonna go for the whole thing. If you just care to give it a go, grab it on a smaller sale size or go straight up with the price it has. It is not as expensive as their other Ubisoft games. But leaving that out of the way with the microtransactions, the game has plenty to do. And let me talk first about the single player side before I start diving into the multiplayer. Because the single player is actually the biggest chunk of the game, because it has so many careers that you can take. Like, snowboarding is one, but snowboarding is divided in two, in races and in tricks. And then you have biking as well is divided in tricks and races. And then you have BMX, also divided on races and tricks, I believe. And then you have in the air careers. I forget what they're called, but I'm just gonna call it you are a flying squirrel in the air. So the flying squirrel also has, I believe, races and tricks. So there's a lot to do. And the map is humongous, which I will talk about it in a little bit. Not yet. But on all of the careers, you can keep upgrading. I think I'm the highest on the levels in those careers. The highest I am is 50, but I can still go upwards because the more you level up, the better gear you have. This is gear you cannot buy, which is awesome. By the way, here is the thing differently. You can buy cosmetics, but you cannot buy gear. Gear has to be acquired, I believe. I could be wrong, but it has to be acquired through playing the game, single players. And it is very important to get a better gear because this does affect on the multiplayer side of the game. So the more you play on the single player, the more stars you get, because this is like the internal monetization part. You cannot buy stars, by the way. The stars, you can only acquire them by playing. That's it. Straight up. Just play and you get them. And with these stars, you get better equipment. And that overall makes you do better on your runs. Even if you make mistakes, you can be able to catch up to everybody because you have better gear. I've seen it. And you can see it probably in my gameplay. I've crashed several times, but I somehow, some way, I'm still on 8th place. Either way, that's one of the sides with single player. It has an incredibly amount of things to do, and the maps are not boring. They're not like, oh, you just go up and down the mountain. It's the same there in every single one of them. No, they do have different places on different styles, themes that work. Like the developers, they think about, okay, is this sports, how can players play it best? If it's a skateboarder, it's not going to look the same as a snowboarding area, right? So they have managed to make a good combination of, oh, look, this place should be like this because it will go better with this sports kind of thing. I hope I'm making myself understandable because sometimes I just babble and jump away and I feel like I don't explain myself. But, okay, so that's the thing with the single player and the way they've managed the careers. It feels authentic. It feels its own thing, its own sport. It doesn't feel like it's just a copy-paste of the world on different places with different looks. It does feel different, and it looks different, it plays different. So now, when I say it also with the single player, they don't have just like the races. They have the trick side. Now, you can go, when I said arcade at the start of the video, I do enjoy my arcade games. Now, this game can be somewhat realistic, and it all comes down to how your settings are set when you are starting the game. Did you set it automatic when you land? This is the most important part. How do you land? Automatic, semi-automatic, or manual? And this is what makes the difference in the game, because just changing that setting, making it manual, makes the game so much more harder. And for you to actually go in depth with how the trick list you have on the different modes, how they work, and to understand them and be able to land those tricks. Because if you leave your setting on manual, you are getting so much more points than everybody else. I'm not kidding. And it actually feels very satisfying when you land one of those. But yeah, it's not going to be your ultimate realistic string sports games, but it's definitely a good feeling type of game. It looks good, feels good, you play good type of idea. Now, in the term of the map is constructed with several different national parks. So actual places in real life are on this map. So it's basically like a Frankenstein of national parks. You're gonna have like a desert area, your snowy area, your template area. I don't know if that's how you say it. It just came to my mind. But like a plains area. And all of these places are from real life spots. I'm gonna show you a couple of them on the video. But because of the connection with real life of this game, I don't know, it actually makes me feel like very fond of the idea. You know what? I'm gonna go touch grass, which is extreme because I'm a gamer, and why would I wanna go touch grass? I have many more things to do in my house, like play video games and read. Either way, this game is beautiful to look at, and just imagining like these places actually exist. Not all of the map, of course. I'm not saying the whole map exists. I'm not crazy, but you can get to see specific spots that the game is specifically telling you. You can go to Google Maps and you can find this spot in real life. And maybe one day you go on a trip and just look at it for yourself in real life. And they're kind of very coolish. So I love the game for that side as well. And now, since it was released, it's been 5 years. The game is into its 5th year of release. And since the start to now, I will say, realistically, it hasn't been like a huge upgrade. They only added like the new careers, like the BMX and the skateboarding, and some new like miscellaneous transport, extreme sports equipment that you can use. But other than that, the game is almost the same. Yeah, there are some different things, but the game is almost the same. But it is still worth it. I will say it is 100% worth it to check it out. It is really fun, especially if you have friends. When I played it on my own, I played it on my own. I'm a honey badger. I don't have a lot of friends. But when I do get people to play with, it's even more fun. You can try to defeat each other on the times, on the amount of points you have on the trick side of the maps. You can do a lot of stuff, which I am devolving into the last part of the video, the multiplayer modes and the multiplayer side of this game. Throughout my whole talking about this game, I've been putting in the video me playing on one of the biggest aspects that I just freaking love on this game, the mass races. Like, they put 64 people going and racing against each other in this several different rounds. So it's most of them are 3 rounds. Sometimes you get the XL mass race, and those are like 6 rounds, which is kind of crazy. But most of the mass races are 3 rounds. So you go through those 3 rounds. They're different type of styles, and because, as I said, it's a Frankenstein map of national parks. The mass races are quite long, and they are divided on different sections. Sometimes you're going to be on the bike, sometimes you're going to be on the snowboard, sometimes you're going to be flying, etc. And it makes it interesting to do these mass races. Yeah, they can be repetitive after a while. I will agree with that. They're very repetitive. If you play this game a lot, or if you just play for the mass races, you're going to feel the burnout after a bit. However, they are still very fun to do, especially with friends. So, mass races is a huge plus with this game. You do have other modes like more PvP style, like 1v1s, or paint the block, or do tricks, stuff like that. But normally the community doesn't go to those that much. Community stays more within the mass races because those are really fun to do. There are just a couple of things that I wish the game was doing more. You know, mass races specifically, I wish they changed those up more frequently. If they did that, it will be amazing. It will be so much better than just having the few rotating mass races. The game will feel a lot more alive. And the other thing it will be great for it's the microtransaction side. Adding a few cosmetics that look way cooler on the season pass side than just maintain everything, gatekeeping it behind the paywall. I think that's it. That's mainly it with the game. But overall, Riders Republic is totally worth it to give it a shot, a try, gather a group of friends, and play with them. It's really, really fun. I'm not kidding. It was really fun. I am actually trying to get back into the game, even though I have a humongous backlog already. I'm trying to just get back into this game and give it another shot, give it another try, enjoy it while it's still alive, because as we know, Ubisoft is it tends to just eliminate games that get behind in the oblivion. Fortunately, the game's still pretty much alive. They are now planning for a season 17, and then following up. They're already thinking about following up with season 18 and season 19, and they're gonna be adding more stuff actually into it. They're gonna bring the scooter in season 20. So yeah, the game's pretty much alive. So give it a shot. I invite you to try Riders Republic. Go with it into the in the sales. I think there's gonna be a lot of sales for it, so give it a try. It is awesome. Try it out, please. But that's all. That's all for this video. I'm not gonna jump away anymore. I would love to hear from you guys in the comment section. Have you played Riders Republic? Have you given it a try? Have you thought about it? Let me know in the comment section. I'm the Honey Badger, and I love to talk about everything gaming related. I'll see you on the next time. Keep on gaming.